Howdy, howdy. Frosty510 here. Welcome to The Land Beneath Us. Or Beneath Ua. There's a bit of a thing going on. It's a Welsh themed tactical roguelike. So, I'll just jump in and I'll give you a little look around. Let's... Actually, what's a good place to... Yeah, here's a good place. Alright, let's just jump in. It plays like a turn-based game, but it's not it kind of is and kind of isn't. It's a bit more fluid than that. It's a bit more flexible, and that can be to your detriment. So sometimes it's better to take things one turn at a time, but other times you just go ham. And I highly recommend it. I think it's definitely worth it checking out if you're a fan of roguelikes, particularly if you like turn-based games. I mean... Oh, we got so lucky. So, okay. So, each direction is also when you have a weapon equipped, which you start with your basic fist and attack. So, you run around and you beat up enemies and move through the levels and you beat the bosses, basically. Each weapon has different characteristics. So, some of them hit an enemy that's only 1 tile away. Some hit enemies that are 2 tiles away. Some hit that are 3. Overkill Spear is a beast. We got an absolutely beautiful legendary at the start. That's quite lucky. There's a huge amount of progression in the game, so I'm just going to show a little bit of combat and then I'll jump out and show you the progression, because I think it's worth talking about the progression, because that's... Oh. Again, roguelites, they all come down to whether it's knowledge progression, so your understanding of the enemies and the objectives and challenges grows, and that's how you improve, is you know what to do in certain situations, or you have that sort of pairing with knowledge as well as getting more tools, getting more equipment, getting more weapons. Oh gosh, I just ran into that. So enemy attacks are these coloured squares, the hazard ones there. I do wish there were more options in terms of clarity, because at times in the first 2 levels the whole board is red, and so it does make it a little bit hard to see what you can attack and what they can attack. And when things get a bit hectic and you move too fast and you don't take it slow, you can put yourself in a bad position. And then you get your gold. So you have choices of where to go. So the green here is your currency for progression currency for upgrades, to unlock more slots for equipment. So I got my equipment, I got my 10 slots on the left. You start off with a lot less than that. So we'll grab some. I've got the music off because it's all copyright music. So, yeah, I learned that the hard way, which is kind of disappointing when you know, that happens. So lots of enemies have behavior you can learn, patterns of attack. And you'll notice on the right-hand side of the screen, I've got combinations. So that's the chip system, which is really good. And you don't have it though at the start. You have to beat your first run. So honestly, the hardest part of the game is the first run, and then you have one of the levels where I'm sort of stuck at the minute, but I'll get past. Oh sweet. Some of the more basic upgrades, the common ones, are actually some of the best things to get in the game, and they'll form your foundation. There is so much progression. Like the cost of the chests, I've got that down from 200, and that cost a lot of green currency. There's some similar story dynamics. There is a story, and it is there's a fair bit of dialogue and important characters, and they do have, you know, some meaning to them. And there is character decisions, choices that do affect the ending of the game. So as you beat bosses, you get choices that actually matter. But let's buy a couple of these. There's different effects. You have follow-up attacks, you have overkill. So we can do overkill, that's fine. Maybe I'll turf it later. Because sometimes the most basic things are the best. Like more HP, more crit chance, crit damage. Oh, what do we get? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got 2 of the best items in the game. There's only probably 1 more I need. Having said that, I can still beat it. So in this situation, I'm going to get hit no matter what, because I can't go right. there's an enemy to my left, which is a flower that hasn't sprouted. And if you can kill all the enemies before the flowers sprout, they disappear. But I also have first aid, which is a chip, and it heals me. So even though I took some after damage, and that's my overkill spear just doing this thing, because I upgraded overkill effects. Yeah, so there's a lot going on, and it does introduce the elements quite slowly, and the progression systems quite slowly, which is fine. I think it works pretty damn well. So you're not overwhelmed at the beginning, although it just takes you time to learn. And sometimes the challenge is in the stage sort of design, and then other times it's not. Oh, spear is so good. Basic spear is just godly. Weapons that attack 2 tiles away. At first, it seems like you want to get just the gun in every slot, because you can get the same weapon in each slot. It's just that when you get multiple of the same weapon, you can upgrade it. So it's kind of a detriment in the long run. So here we're looking for the same stuff we've already got. We don't have it, we can sell. Now to get selling, you have to unlock it. Everything that's convenient, all the quality of life stuff, I've unlocked through hard work. And a bit of farming, but not too much. There are certain items that make farming easier, which you unlock later, which is kind of like, it's a little bit annoying, because you're like, oh, I just farmed so much, and then, oh, now I've got this new thing. But there's a whole bunch of just basic challenges you can do that unlock, new weapons, new equipment. So here, sometimes you can hit enemies and that stops them hurting you too badly, but most of the time you just smack them. I do have a couple of chips that are incredibly strong, and I'm some of the best in the game so far. No, we don't want any of those. It's annoying because one of the items there was really good. I tend to stick to the same weapons because then I've got a better chance of getting them upgraded. But one of the equipment I've got is just, I'll show you. So we do have teleportation you unlock. It's really, it's very powerful, but I just never use it because I just never think to use it. You can skip turns. So if you're standing still and an enemy's not going to hit you on this turn, but maybe they'll hit you if you move, you can just stand still. And we can look through those things. We've got the inventory, so we can see all the stuff I've got on. So this Hafkin's locket is just so strong. It's so strong. And then the Veil Armor giving me heals, even though I don't even need heals, because I've just got chips that are so powerful. So the first aid chip is just super strong. This one here is incredibly strong. I haven't used the other one too much. Yes, there's progress there. We've got quests you can do to get different weapons. What have we got? Meh. You can kill enemies before they hit you, so sometimes even if you're in the danger area, it's not that big a deal. I don't think I have any follow-ups. I think we'll just do one boss and then I'll go back to the hub and show you the progression systems, because I think it is worth looking at them. And, don't worry about spoilers. There we go. Beautiful. We're all set now. Cultural, no. That's fine. Let's just sell it. I would have collected that for if I was farming. It's one of the best tools for farming. Where you get gold, you get. So we do have event rooms. So there's a blacksmith, an enhancer, black merchant. So you can get different things. You can offer up your health for items, or you can buy them with money. All we need is this one. So now we have immunity to status effects, which makes it's incredibly strong. We can go up. So all of your... let's go up, down, and then... So your chips are really strong, and you can upgrade them to be. The cooldown reduces, so you don't have to wait as long between uses, and you can change the combination. You can re-roll it, so it's like a gambling sort of thing, kind of not. We could do that, but I don't need it. Fun. And so, oh, let's try. So there is also a bit of leeway. You don't have to nail them perfectly. So they actually let you make one wrong move in between, which is just really, really nice. So let's see what event room we get here, and then I'll go back to the... okay, even though this is a perfect run and I can easily win the whole thing, no, I'm just absolutely... I've got the best stuff. You can trade health, which, because I have a chip that heals me, I can just get all this if I wanted to, but I don't need any of it. I think it's trash. Which means I could actually technically pick it up and then just sell it, but I just cannot be bothered. Some maps have certain mechanics which make it very, very, very... challenging. Regardless of what items you have, you can instantly lose the run. That's just the 2 stages so far that I've had that sort of stuff. Okay, let's go back. It's a sort of game where once you start a run, you just want to see it to the end. So it is kind of heartbreaking to have to exit. Like, I was perfectly set up. Okay, so you have a number of progression systems. You have your central upgrades, boss material to get big upgrades. You've got upgrading more health, amount of gold drop, and a lot of these cap out, so you're not going to get super, super ridiculous amounts of gold multipliers and things like that. And the relic slots is at 10, which is a lot, and those are very expensive. But and starting with an extra weapon is so good. So many of the upgrades just make the game so much better, so much more fun. It's crazy how different it is once you've got lots of them, and how much the game improves. So I can try and upgrade these things, but I don't think double gang's that good. Oh, I'll keep that. Dimension Orbital Strike is just beast. So you have 3 different upgrade systems there. And then you have 2 upgrades here. So we've got the boss one. And we've got upgrading your event rooms, your merchants, the chest price, getting that reduced that's really, really handy. And then blacksmith cost reduced, and if you find the blacksmith. Again, a lot of these are sort of, you may not run into the merchants, so it may not be that valuable now, but later on it'll help a lot. Like, it'll just sort of clutch. And increase the chance of dropping higher level relics. I think it's okay, but also can be a detriment, because some of the more common relics are better. Like just straight up 20% crit chance is better than a lot of the rare blue ones. Because so many of the blue ones they fit certain weapon types. And then we have our quests. So there's a lot of things, and I've done heaps and heaps of them. And I really like the game. So there's lots of different areas. So the first area is very red, and I don't think it's the best area. I honestly, I feel like it doesn't show the game at its best. You can play it in the demo. So there is a demo you can try, a free demo you can try it out. But I played the demo, did an impressions, tried to do an impressions here, and then got copyright claimed up to the wazoo, and it just wasn't worth it. I just don't like having the copy claimed, having to mute the things. But I thought it was, I've got some boss fights on the channel. If you want to check them out, see what those are like. The big boss fights, not the little mini boss one like that little dog, bigger than that. And they take some of them take a bit of learning, and then others, if you just have the status immunity, that helps a lot. I think this is a good game, a really good game. And and I just want to plug it. I like to say when, game's good, game's fun, I enjoy it. It's important. It's a little Welsh indie game, tactical roguelike, and yeah, check it out. It's quite cheap, well priced, I'd say, because once you realise how much depth there is, and sort of as it shows you, and all the chip system, teleportation, all the different quest things, and all the different weapons, and how the different weapons work, because so many of them work differently, and they have different pros and cons, and there's katana, and you can hit the enemy and go behind them, and there's a whole bunch of more interesting stuff. I'm quite basic with my approach, because I just like to keep it as simple as possible, but you may find a totally different strategy. And yeah, check it out. I think it's a really good game. Really cheap, really good quality, no bugs, no crashes, and it just sort of makes sense. It makes sense as a game. The boss fights can be quite intimidating, and a bit of and then suddenly the whole screen is covered in danger zones, and you're like but it's a rewarding game. One caveat, one point, I think, I'll leave it to the end of the video, because again, you want to keep the negatives to the end if you can. I do think the dialogue between your main character and your computer companion can be... I mean, it's doing it on purpose, but the computer companion is an asshole and says some very mean things. And if you lose a run early, it'll say mean things. And honestly, I think that part of the game could be removed. You don't need to have negative reinforcement when it's a game all about going through runs multiple times. I do feel as though I'd happily delete that part of it. Just the final comment. You don't need to be told after you lose a run, even if it's just, to some of the trap things later on that are just... You just got to be careful. And if you're not careful enough, you can get trapped in that and you get infinite stun lock death. And then the computer says, it's just like... It's a bit stupid, that part of it. I do think, again, it fits the story purpose, but it's just like... I just want to have an option to be like, nah, just turn that off. Don't need negative reinforcement when things go bad in this sort of game. In any game, really. You've got to choose, nah, I don't want that snarky little robot bastard saying mean things to me when I'm working my ass off and just got unlucky, or just didn't get the right relics, didn't get the right enhanced ones. Because again, enhancing is really important. One of the things you can do is go back to the old levels, and you can put some modifiers on each of them, which is really good. That's really good, the modifier system. So you can, and it increases. So you do the 5 gate, the 10, the 15, and it's kind of like you increase the amount of different modifiers you put on. So more enemies, they've got health and more health and more shields, they do more damage. Which, if they do more damage, but you know how to dodge everything, isn't a big deal. Unless you get unlucky and you're on a level where the instant you're surrounded and you're just dead. There's a little bit of luck when it comes to that. So it is all randomly done, random enough. But yeah, check it out, Land Beneath Us, or Ua, or I don't know, not 100%, not 100%. All right, this has been Frosty510, recommending the game. I will upload more boss fights and as I progress through. And they sort of give you a picture of the story, not the full picture, but yeah, there is definitely a moral sort of complexity to the narrative. But the basics of the game is really strong. And I think, check it out. Check the damn game out. It's cheap, indie game. This is what everyone's supporting. This is the whole point. It's the whole point of gaming now. Is you're supposed to be like, nah, stuff the AAA games. I'm going to play indie games. Well, here's one right here. Here's one right here. Check it out. All right. Catch you around. See ya.